Hey, I'm Jennifer, the productivity and lifestyle coach for child-free business owners. And today I've got with me a special guest. Rebecca is one of my clients, and today we are going to talk about what it was like going through my VIP day. Thanks for being here, Rebecca.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about this.
So let's just go ahead and get started.
All
Uh,
right.
Tell us a little bit about kind of business you have and what you do.
Yeah, so I run a branding and web design studio, which I am starting to scale into kind of a medium-sized agency. So when I first started working with Jennifer, it was mostly just me, and things have been really growing over the last couple of months, especially like ever since I started working with her. I've been hiring team and all of the things. So I'm excited.
Oh, oh, I'm so happy for you. Yay.
Thank you.
So where do you see yourself heading in your business this year?
Yeah. So, like I was saying, I'm starting to kind of scale this into a small agency. So right now I have a team of about 4 people, and what we're really working on this year is kind of streamlining our offers even more, and just continuing to grow my team.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, four people already.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple people that just work for me like a couple hours a week, and then I have a couple designers that I work with on a project basis. So not like full-time employees or anything yet. Um,
Yeah.
but mostly like project based, but still very exciting.
I feel like that's kind of the best way to get started in it anyway. That way you know for sure
Yeah,
that's what you want to do.
exactly. Exactly. It's been really fun. It's been a process, a big learning process for sure the last couple
Oh
of
yeah.
months. So yeah, I'm excited just to see where things go in the next year or two.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens too. Uh,
Yeah, thank you.
so before we started working together, what challenges were you facing and what kind of what was the thing that really motivated you to finally like say enough was enough? I need to just get help with this.
When we first started working together, I was kind of at that stage. It was mostly just me. My business was starting to grow, and it was growing a little bit like almost faster than I could keep up with in a way where I was really starting, I could keep up with it, but it was starting to feel like, okay, my
Hmm.
schedule is getting busier and busier. I feel like, just feel like I'm always busy now. Like it's exciting, right? Like the business is
Hmm.
growing. That's amazing. But I was still struggling with procrastination and time management, like trying to balance, growing the business, but also still not burning out, right? Like still having time for
Yeah.
everything else that I wanted to do. And it was getting to that stage where it was like, okay, I know that I can't keep working like this. I was working way too much, not taking time for myself. And so that was really the motivation was like, I know that I can't keep doing this or I'm really going to burn out. So that was like when we first started working together.
Yeah, we can't have you burning out.
Exactly.
And you started your business so you could do all these other things, not just your business, even though you love it, of course. But we got to
Hmm.
enjoy life too.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And it was getting to that stage where it's like, okay, I'm excited about this. I love having so many clients. I love what I'm doing, but it's like, I also have stuff I want to do. Like, I have a personal life. There's things that I want to do, like, not just working all the time. And so it really got to that stage that was like, okay, I have to figure this out. I need to be
Mm.
more efficient. I need to get a handle on my schedule.
Yeah, that's such a big self-awareness and realization. So I want to take a moment to make sure you know how big of a deal that is. So,
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I was really excited. I remember being so excited when we first started working together and just like, okay, this is like such a huge step. Like, feel like I'm really stepping into more of that CEO role in the
yes.
business and getting serious about things, Like I was serious about it before, but it was just like, okay, I know this is kind of the next step to
Hmm.
really get me on a really good track to growing the business.
Yeah. So what made you decide to work with me over other productivity coaches?
Yeah. So one of the things I really love that I've seen you talk about before is how like time management didn't always come naturally to you either. Because I think like I see a lot of I see other people who talk about productivity and all these things, but it seems like they were just always naturally good at that.
Mm.
And it's like, I don't know if you fully understand my situation as someone who is like struggling with this, someone who is like a procrastinator and all these things. It's like I need to work with someone who actually understands my experiences and like the challenges that I'm facing right now as I'm trying to get more efficient with my time.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. It's definitely it definitely took a little bit, but
Yes.
I'm glad you didn't have to take as long to learn like I did. So, yay.
Yes, thank you. No, that really was a big motivator for me because it was like, okay, this person actually understands what I'm struggling with. It's not just someone who has always been amazing at, never been a procrastinator, always been amazing at managing their time, and they're just going to tell me I need to figure it out, make a schedule, and just stick to it. It's like, okay, but it's not that easy.
No, there's
Like
more
I
to it
need it
than that for sure.
exactly. So I really just appreciated that you understood where I was coming from.
Oh, thank you. I try.
Yeah.
All right, so during our VIP day, what'd you think of the process that we went through?
Yeah, I loved the process. So what really helped me with that was how we did like pre-work before the VIP day,
Mm,
where we really dug into, okay, like what are you currently struggling with? What are things looking like? And also, what do you want things to look like? It was in a way that I hadn't, I've done journaling, I love journaling. But I really liked the alignment questions that you sent over because it was really thinking deeper about like,
hmm.
what do you actually want this to look like? What do you want your time to look like? Not just business, like, of course, business too, but it
Yes,
was like, what do you want your personal time to look like? And I was just like, I don't know that I put like, I think all of us, if we're running our own business, especially, we put a lot of thought into what do you want your business to look like? What do you want your work to look like? And I don't think that we often put as much thought into what do you just want your life to look like, your personal time,
exactly.
what other projects and goals and things you have in mind that you want to do. And so that really I really enjoyed that part of the process. And so then when we actually got together for our VIP day, it was like, okay, how do we make all of this fit together? Not just work, like obviously we're going to talk about the business, but it was making everything fit, not just
Mhm.
work. And so I loved that process.
Oh, I'm so glad. It was so much fun.
Yes, it really was. That the day went by so fast too.
Oh my gosh, it did. So, by the way, Rebecca did a full day, which was a really quick 6 hours. Of course, we had breaks, but yeah, it just goes by so fast because and just
Hmm.
talking a lot and getting a lot done. But that's what I
Yes.
love about it is because we get so much done in one day.
Exactly. You really like we really are able to get so much done in that one day together, Like sometimes it might seem like, oh, like one day, what can you really accomplish? Like, no, you can accomplish so much. And when you're done, it's like you have this plan now that you can continue implementing. I can't talk. Like you have a plan now that you can use all the time moving forward. And it just makes such a huge difference. It's amazing, like really what you can do in one day.
So how has it been since we've worked together? How has it made your business easier or anything like that?
Yeah. So the biggest thing, like my biggest takeaway from the VIP day was using I'd used my Google calendar before, but it was mainly just like putting my calls on there, things like that were like a set scheduled thing. And I hadn't used it as much for actually time blocking
Mm,
and putting like everything in there, work in there, personal stuff in there. And so what I started doing, I mean, we worked on that together during our VIP day of like looking at my calendar together, actually time blocking, putting everything in there. And then I have continued to use that like the entire time since our VIP day.
yay.
So yeah. So it really has stuck with me. It wasn't just something that it's like, oh, we did this VIP day and then I used my Google Calendar for like a week and then I just stopped doing it. Like that has stuck with me and I've been using it ever since. And so what I really love to do now is at the beginning of every week or like maybe on a Friday, I'll look at the next week ahead and I'll literally just like be looking at my to-do list and I have general days, like I try and time block things and do like certain projects or certain tasks on certain days of the week. But, so at the end of the week or on Monday, I will look at that next week, plan everything out. If there's like something different that came up that week, I'll adjust my schedule to fit everything in. Um, and then and this is something we talked about during our VIP day too, is how everything still gets to be flexible. So
Hmm.
like, I might look at my calendar and it's like I see all these time blocks everywhere, but everything is flexible. Like it's not overwhelming to see all the time blocks of like all my different tasks and things like that because everything is on there. So it's super, super easy to rearrange things when I need to. If something came
Hmm.
up, it's like, oh, I'll just move that block over here. I'll just move it earlier or later in the day, or I'll move it to tomorrow. Like when you can see everything all at once,
Hmm.
it makes it that much easier to like make the work fit your life. Like it makes it so much easier to take the time when I need to if something comes up and I can just easily rearrange stuff. So it doesn't feel, it's not a process to me that feels very restrictive, which was something that I had worried about beforehand of like, okay, what is time management actually going to look like? Am I going to end up with this like super rigid structure that then I just feel stuck because, I run, I'm a creative person. I have a design business. Like I like to work more in the flow and like go with my energy and things like that. It's like I don't always feel like doing the exact same things every day or something. And so
Hmm.
with this kind of structure, it's so flexible to my energy and to fit what I need it to be on any given day. So I love that.
Oh, good. Because that is like one of the big, big pieces of
Yeah.
my process and what I teach everyone. So I'm so glad it's been helping so much. So
Yeah.
how has it improved like just day to day?
Yeah. Day to day, like I find it so much easier to be able to look at my schedule. So I pretty much have my Google Calendar up now, like all day long when I'm working. I just like keep it up so I can kind of just keep myself on track and see what's coming up during the day. And again, like I said, like I can rearrange things if I need to or whatever. And so it's really kind of changed my process in that sense because I didn't have like a clear process as far as like scheduling or time management beforehand. So every day just kind of felt like, okay, I have a never ending to do list of all the different things that I need to do for all my projects and all my clients and everything. Um, but I didn't have it clearly mapped out. So every day was just kind of like, okay, try and check off as much as you can. Like there's not a clear plan. Like what do I work on? What do I prioritize? And so having it all mapped out now, it's so much easier day to day to just like jump into work, do what I got to do, rearrange things in my schedule if I need to, but it's no longer like wasting so much time thinking, oh my God, like what I have 5 projects, what do I even work on first? Like
Hmm.
it's so much more organized and just easy to get things done and to focus on things without worrying if maybe I should be working on something else instead and like flip flopping all over the place. It's like I can actually just jump into work and focus on things, which was a big struggle for me before.
Yeah. Have you, has that also helped like going to sleep with your sleep at all? Like
Yeah,
like your brain not crazy all the time when you're trying to go to sleep and you're thinking about what you got to do the next day kind of thing?
yeah, that's such a good point because one of the things that I think like before it was always just kind of stressful of like, okay, I feel like I have this really long to-do list and it feels like I'm never getting enough done. And so now that I have this really clear plan every day, it's like I know what I have to get done. And then I also know that I have space and time the rest of the week for everything else that has to get done that week.
Hmm.
So that's a really good point. Like I did really always stress about things at night too, where like it'd be harder to fall asleep. 'Cause it's like you're thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to do all these things. Like, how am I going to fit this all in the rest of the week? And now it's just like, yeah, there's more things on my to-do list this week. And I already have a super clear plan of how and when I'm going to fit all these things in. So it's not that stress anymore of like, oh my gosh, I have this to-do list. How am I going to get everything done?
Oh, that's so good. So with that less stress, would you say that you have more mental and creative space too?
Yeah, I do. And that's been huge. So one of the things that really helped me and one of the ways I've been able to start growing my team too and create that space for myself is that when I started have like mapping my to-do list out, like mapping all my tasks and things out on that calendar, I could see where all my time was going. Instead of feeling like, okay, I'm busy all the time, but like, what am I even doing? It was like,
Mm,
I can see where I'm busy. I can see the exact things that I'm doing. So this is now where I can start to hire team members. I can
mhm.
start outsourcing some of these things. And then it's exactly that. I created more space for myself because especially doing work that is so creative that requires like so much like mental space, mental energy. It's like I needed that time for myself. And so it definitely has helped me create that space and create that like mental energy.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. What I always hope for my clients anyway.
Yes, it's amazing.
What would you say would be the biggest thing you learned from working together?
Hmm. I think the biggest thing is kind of like I was just talking about a minute ago is having this structure for myself that doesn't feel restrictive.
Hmm.
Because I really like to work with my energy. And that's something that can't always be planned ahead of time. You know, something comes up, something happens, or one day it's just for whatever reason you have more or less energy. So I just make my schedule work for me then. If it's a day that I have a little bit less energy, it's like, okay, well, let me look at my calendar. Let me see what I can do. How can I, create some more time for myself in the morning to, get ready for the day? Maybe I just need to take some more time to myself and do something to get energized. Or even vice versa, if it's a day where I'm like, oh man, I am just like on a roll. I'm getting so much done. I have so much energy. It's like, okay, why don't I just like work a little bit longer, check a couple more things off that I'm feeling motivated and energized to do, and I'll create that space for myself later in the week.
Yeah.
And so it's that flexible structure that isn't restrictive. It's not, okay, this is your exact structure every day. These are the things that you have to do every day. It's like, no, this is your structure, so you know what, should get done, but then, you can move it around. You can be flexible. You can work with your energy. So I think that's been really one of the biggest takeaways.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. With that flexibility, even with the deadlines with clients and things,
Mhm.
do you do you feel like you're able to get stuff done ahead of time more or just less stress having like procrastinating and getting it done at the last time kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah, it definitely has helped with that too. Like I'm someone who always really struggled with self-imposed deadlines.
Mm,
So, I mean, deadlines with clients, like that's never been an issue. Like I always meet my deadlines with clients. But because I didn't have such a clear structure, I would really like cause myself unnecessary stress because I
mm,
wouldn't have it all mapped out very clearly. So then it would get to, the last couple of days or whatever leading up to the deadline. And then it would be like, oh man, I have all these things that maybe I didn't even realize how much work I still had to do on this project or something like that. And so then I would be like working really, really hard to meet that deadline because obviously I'm going to meet the deadline.
mhm.
I'm not going to, you know, do anything like that with my clients and not meet that deadline. So now it's that clear structure. It's like really mapping things out. So leading up to deadlines with clients and stuff like that, like it's all planned out. Sometimes there's times that it does need to get done closer to the deadline. I like to get things done ahead of time as much as possible, but it's like I know what all I have to get done and it fits into the schedule easier without it then coming up to that last couple days or something and realizing that I have so much more to do than I thought I did.
Mhm.
Because I know exactly what there is to do. And so I think it's like because it's so visual now with the Google Calendar, um, that it's no longer just like somewhere a handwritten to-do list or scattered around in my brain. It's like I can visually see how
Mhm.
much time I need for things and make it fit. And really make it fit without overworking too. So it's like I've made sure having everything on the calendar has really helped me to, I didn't even talk about this earlier, but like it's really helped me to stop working in the evenings, for
Oh,
example. Like
good.
I was really bad about like, well, I have plenty of time because I'll just work like after supper and work until I go to bed. And so now that I can like visually see everything on the calendar, it's just a lot easier to make it fit like during the day and like set that firmer boundary with myself, with my time and the hours I want to be working. So yeah.
Oh, that's so good. How has having a stopping point like that helped your relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it helps. I mean, it wasn't anything that like was a problem before, but I know that it's so much better like having more time in the evening to spend with Todd.
Yeah.
We have like our routines and things now, and I'm not always just like sitting at my computer working on projects anymore. So it's like I always just know we have that time set aside that we're gonna hang out together.
No. Yay.
Yeah.
All right. So to wrap it up, what would you say to other business owners facing the same challenges that you did before we started?
I would say that really when you're getting to the stage that you're really wanting to grow your business, getting a handle on your time and becoming more efficient is it's so so important because there's going to be more things going on in your business. You're signing more clients, maybe you want to run, start new offers, have new programs, all of these things that you want to do. And so being efficient with your time in order to do all the things you want to do is so important. And that's not just with your business, but you want to make sure that as your business grows, it doesn't mean you're spending more time on it. You want to make sure that you're still having all that time for yourself too. And that's where I had found myself struggling is like the more my business grew, it was taking more of my time and I was doing less like personal things that I wanted to do in my life. Um, and so it's so important to like get a handle on that and like your business can grow without you working more and more and more. So I just
Yeah.
think that, yeah, growing your business so, so important to, yeah, figure out your schedule, get more efficient with your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, and I appreciate
Yeah,
you so
absolutely.
much, and I'm sure we will talk soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on.